When you strip away the noise and the bright lights, it's just the game you loved as a kid.
Wilson recently released their ad for the new Caitlyn Clark signature basketballs, and just like Caitlyn on the court, it's pure cinema. Fans aren't just giddy because it's a great ad, which it is, but because it captures something bigger. In less than 60 seconds, it explains the Caitlyn Clark effect, why her fans adore her, why she matters, and why she's the face of the W. The details are amazing. You can tell Wilson really went out of his way to customize every aspect of these signature basketballs for Caitlyn Clark and to use the design to tell her story. I'll go over all the details in a moment, but here's the thing. She's only the second basketball player in history to receive a Wilson signature basketball line after, you guessed it, Michael Jordan. Speaking of Air Jordan, fans are asking, where the hell is Nike? Despite being the most well-known female athlete in the world, Caitlyn Clark still doesn't have a signature shoe, which is absurd. Since you refuse to discuss Caitlyn Clark, we may finally understand why Nike needs to talk about her. A Nike insider recently revealed what may be the true reason for the delay, and yes, it's as frustrating as you might expect, especially when you compare it to what Wilson just did. Let's get right into the new Wilson campaign, but first, watch this video if you think Nike, in contrast to Wilson, is seriously failing with Caitlyn. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates on Caitlyn Clark and everything WNBA news. First, let's talk about Wilson, which, in contrast to some other brands we'll discuss shortly, has always done things right by Caitlyn Clark. Last year, they introduced her first signature basketball line to great fanfare, and to emphasize how unique this is, she was only the second athlete after Michael Jordan to have a complete basketball collection with Wilson. This year, they went above and beyond, creating a signature product fit for the WNBA's face. This wasn't just a slap on a ball and call it a day. It was involved in the design of all four basketballs. Every texture, color, phrase, and pattern was deliberate. Just look at these details. The Aspire ball appears plain at first, white or gray, nothing spectacular. But when you take it outside, the magic happens. Under the sun, hidden messages appear in bold, fever red, dream big, and keep going. The most personal of all is that you're going to be amazing because you are amazing. Do you know where that quote is from? Here's a hint. Be amazing, you too. That's not just a marketing line. It's what Caitlyn tells her teammate Aaliyah Boston before every game. Turns a product into a real moment. And, that's just the beginning. Next is the Envision Ball, which is made for outdoor play and has a pattern that appears to be a maze, but if you look closely, you'll see that it actually says Dream Big in a custom repeating design. Next is the Oasis Ball, which is soaked in light blue, Caitlyn's favorite color, and it was inspired by her time spent playing golf. One panel even has an abstract aerial golf course, which is a cool personal touch that links her off-court life to the product. Finally, there is the Embrace Ball, which real deal EVO, NXT regulation quality, built for actual game use due to league rules, prevented it from being ostentatious, but Wilson managed to make it unique. This might be the coolest detail yet. Inside the Wilson logo and surrounding the air hole is a light blue sunburst pattern, a decibel meter graphic created from real crowd noise captured during a Fever game, literally the roar of Caitlyn's fans in your palm. However, Wilson wasn't finished. The product and design were already of the highest caliber, and then they dropped this defense by the Sparks fans. Before I go into Nike and how it's now obvious that they're fumbling the bag, there's one thing I need to mention because it's directly related to Wilson and this product. It's all about basketball, the love of the game, the grind, the joy, and that's all you need to do with it. Basketball in hand, guiding you, inspiring you, working on the player you dream to be. Because the ball will always bring you back to your favorite place, calm, focused, and confident, to the place where all roads lead the game of basketball. Caitlyn Clark, you don't need to overthink it. Just show her doing what she does best and people will come. There is no better way to promote Caitlyn Clark than to show her playing basketball. This has always been the hallmark of Caitlyn's brand and the reason she connects with so many people. It's not forced, it's not manufactured, it's just fans adore her because of her unwavering passion for the game, her unrelenting work ethic, and her unmistakable joy every time she takes the court. Caitlyn, every shot you make is one less that I have to do. Just take a look at her Do Perfect collaboration, which has received millions of views. It's not about who has the most eye-catching pregame attire or the best curated image. It's about being the best in class, perfecting your craft, and accomplishing the impossible. Fans are enthralled with her recent media appearance in which she discussed her injury. She mentioned that she misses practice the most. And I believe that sometimes the hardest part is simply not being able to participate in it. I love practice, and while not everyone enjoys coming to practice every day, I really enjoy coming out here and competing with my teammates every day. Of course, I miss the games, and that goes for anyone who has ever been hurt, but I love getting better, and we know that Caitlyn Clark is wired for continuous improvement. She's about being the best, pushing herself, and doing what she didn't talk about hype or headlines. Instead, she talked about Caitlyn's drive, preparation, and how she shows up every day looking to get better. Yes, I think that first and foremost, one of the things that I knew about her from a distance, but seeing it on a daily basis, is the way she works. We talk a lot about work ethic, but work style is another thing. And you know that she doesn't waste reps. You know that she literally embodies that how. It's been nice and refreshing to be in the gym with her, and for anyone who is truly paying attention, this has become the ultimate response to the tired argument that Caitlyn was just given a platform, she didn't earn it. She earned it with her work ethic, consistency, and love for the game. I'll go into that more in a moment when we talk about Nike, but first, listen to the Hall of Famer. You do everything in the same way, whether it's a ball handling drill, shooting drill, or screen setting. Yeah, Cheryl Miller broke it down for herself. She was in the backyard, and sometimes she was putting in more than you were right. I can't blame her for what she was given, but you know, look at how much she was given, and you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype. Come on, people are still waiting for it to fall. Wilson absolutely nailed who Caitlyn Clark is, both as a player and as a person. The final product isn't just cool, it's truly inspiring. This leads us to the brand that ought to be doing a fantastic job with Caitlyn. Since Caitlyn Clark has Michael Jordan-level charisma, you would think that she would be wearing her own Kate Force ones by now. However, when you see how Wilson is killing it, customizing every detail and telling a story, you can't help but wonder what Nike's doing. Yes, a signature shoe is reportedly in the works, but let's face it, Caitlyn is already the biggest star in America. LeBron had his own shoe in his first season as well. When Nike spots a once-in-a-generation talent, they usually act quickly, and in this case, waiting any longer makes no financial sense. However, I don't think the world's largest sports brand is stupid. There must be a reason why Jordan Rodgers, who worked in the marketing department for Nike for 15 years, just spilled the beans about how Nike is handling Caitlyn. It's eye-opening. I want to show you two charts here. One shows your stock price since 2021, which has dropped by almost 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions are the ones who are making these decisions. Options are worthless, but you have the biggest needle mover in American sports since Michael Jordan, and you've somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. It's no secret that Nike's sales are currently going badly. Part of the reason is that their legacy lines, like Jordan's, aren't moving as they used to. They need a new face, a new wave, something with real momentum, and Caitlyn Clark is a no-brainer. So why are they slow playing this? That's the billion-dollar question. And what Jordan said gives us, I find this to be a very frustrating response. You have been working hard to try to improve the WNBA and many of its athletes, but it seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or discussion, and in men's sports, we never have an either-or discussion. You have about 10 signature athletes, half of whom don't deserve a signature shoe. Did you notice the picture of A'ja Wilson's A1 shoes in that video that Jordan Rodgers posted? It was subtle, but it said a lot. Do you recall Nike's total silence during Caitlyn's Iowa? It was a huge day for her, and to be honest, The WNBA overall, they sold 15,000 tickets in a matter of minutes and pulled one during the homecoming game against the Brazilian national team. 3 million people watched what was essentially an exhibition, more than some WNBA playoff games attract. Nike didn't post or tweet at all, and their silence was so deafening that Caitlyn's own boyfriend retweeted a post criticizing Nike's inaction. I'm not sure if you noticed, but her boyfriend reposted this on his page. I suppose it was an accident, but I'm going to assume you don't have internet or anything. Since the people closest to her are willing to speak up like that, you know something's wrong. The big question was how Nike could have been unaware of this. I discussed it in a previous video, and to be honest, my theory still stands that they definitely knew. This brings us back to A'ja Wilson. Her signature shoes were released a few days after Caitlyn's Iowa homecoming game. Theory is that Nike didn't want anything to take away from A'ja's moment, so they remained silent, not because they forgot about Caitlyn, but rather because they purposefully stepped back to protect. Your tagline at the time was, "You can't win, so win." Jordan's recent revelations seem to have confirmed that theory. One of the best explanations I can think of is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to join this politically divisive conversation that has been hijacked by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all sorts of absurd things about women's basketball. You can't win, so when you have the unicorn, the chosen one, the one who everyone wants to hear from, and you are just sitting around Gatorade, State Farm, Gamebridge, Wilson basketball, figured out how to have a point of view with Caitlyn Clark. Please, for heaven's sake, figure something out. It seems like the same politics that have overshadowed what should have been the WNBA's shining moment are now spilling over into Nike as well. Stephen A. Smith, to be honest, breaks it down perfectly. He cuts through all the noise and explains exactly why this is such a missed opportunity. Then a lot of people have defended numerous WNBA players, pointing out that this has been going on for a long time and that people are not hating on her. It's not that you hate on her, it's that you feel she is receiving the attention you deserve and you justified long before she ever existed.